privilege to bail out now if you wish. Yes, huh?
Get it open. Keep an eye out, Dale.
Why do not the sacred gong sound the final note which completes the marriage ceremony? Great God, Teo is displeased! Keep your slimy hands off her, and you drag him!
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Scream Stream minisodes. I am your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very, very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
Yes, officer. I do not have anything that illegal in this car.
Are you?
Yeah, can we pause for a second?
Are you sure about that?
What is going on here?
Whatever do you mean, Evan?
What do you have to say for yourself, Garrett?
What do I have? You know what I have to say for myself, guys? This is season 4 of the Scream Stream, and I am officially declaring it this season of the stash. And I don't have any kind of cool graphic or little intro for that. I wish I did, but no. It's I decided to switch it up. Is it because
it's Movember? Are you doing that?
No, not really. I just
is that still a thing?
It. See, as I
think it got replaced by No Nut November.
That's right. Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
right.
That's the new trend. That's the hot trend right now.
Next level.
Yeah, I mean that's
What a
commitment,
terrible
right?
holiday.
It really is, isn't it? That's what the holidays are all about, right?
Thanks, Obama.
Seriously, don't even. We're not a political show. Don't worry, we're not even about to get started. You're here for an escape. You're here for a refuge from all that BS. I'm not going to get into it.
There's one political stance that I will voice on the stream.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll give you your platform. I'll give you your time.
Pizza Flicks sucks.
No. We're not gonna talk.
Pizza Flicks.
We're not gonna say anything about any channels that may also broadcast public domain content that
We got beef with Pizza Flicks.
No, we don't. We don't have any. No, there's no beef. There's nothing. They're gonna come after us, and it's gonna be all your fault, Fresh.
We're the public domain masters. Get out of here.
The
Sizing
domain,
up the competition.
So listen, and this is the beauty of the show, right? Is that the public domain is a weird, wild thing, and I'm not entirely sure that. The laws need to be, if anything, that's what we need to see. We need to see laws about how do you clarify the rules of the public domain, because it would make things my job a lot easier. But it's a whole other conversation. No, we have no beef with anybody. We're not beef people. We are vegetarians when it comes to any other online platforms.
If I see Pizza Flicks in public, it's on site, bro.
Let it be known that Fresh's beef is a complete separate beef, all his own.
My views do not
reflect the views of this show or its affiliates in any way, shape, or form. No, we're here from an escape from all the hubbub of because also the other crazy thing, we're getting through the first third of November, guys. It's we're out of spooky season, but guess what? Tonight's what we're about to get into for the mini-sodes this season. I'll go ahead and be straight up front. We're a horror show first and foremost. This serial that we're going to be watching this season, which is Flash Gordon Conquers the World, it can definitely be called sci-fi. It cannot, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, be called horror. So just to come clean about that right out of the gate, I think that's important. But it's still thrilling. I mean, and that just is a kind of a larger point. We already got like the one horror serial that there is out of the way. Phantom Creeps was it. We already
it was already kind of, I mean, how horror was that
still really wasn't. It still kind of crossed it was, and again, what I've kind of realized in I did not make the decision of what to watch until like a couple hours before we went live tonight. Like it took me forever, and I was doing a lot of research because what I found is that a lot of these serials just have the same plot. Like pretty much as to what we saw in the Phantom Creeps. There's like it's different kind of
what plot?
They're just driving back and forth. That's the plot.
Essentially, it's a group of characters going in a triangle, following around some MacGuffin. Usually, there's some evil guy that wants to take over the world and has some kind of diabolical device or machine. It's I mean.
And halfway through the serial, they suddenly start calling one of them a different name just to make the title fit.
Right. Yes. And you can never tell who the hero is.
Wait, have we called him Flash yet?
Oh
no!
Fuck.
Listen, this is what sets apart this serial from the last one that we watched. The last serial, Lugosi was the bad guy, but he was the main draw. But you couldn't really say there was a hero in that. There's a clear hero here, and it is Flash Gordon, and he,
wait, don't ruin it.
Well, and I'll not to say that this is ruining too much, because this is actually the third serial, Flash Gordon serial that Universal, that was the studio that made this. This is their third one. They had already made two other ones before this. So I'm not going to be ruining too much, because they just get started like everybody and everything.
I have I have a question.
Yes, I have an answer. Hopefully, we'll see.
Are the other two public domain?
No, the other two are not public domain. That's why we're watching this. Trust me.
Okay, all right. I
I'm
was wondering
I'm
why
not
we
doing
started
a
on number
thing.
3.
I'm not doing a thing. I don't. No, there's no. I didn't read some kind of weird review that said, well, the perfect order to watch the Flash Gordon serials is actually
You watch
Star
the third
Wars.
one first.
right. No, well, and so that's the thing is, and the reason I landed on Flash Gordon is because it's actually really cool in what you can talk about with pop culture references, with things that were ended up being inspired by Flash Gordon, or things that kind of were inspirations for this Flash Gordon serial. So it's interesting. It's kind of it's fun, and even though it's the third serial, you're not gonna miss much. It's not gonna be too hard to understand who the good guy. We know who the good guy is, and you'll see who the bad guy is. It's the same bad guy from the last 2 movies or serials. It's Flash Gordon's arch nemesis, Ming the Merciless, which I'll just go ahead and tell you. Yes, it's what they would call back in it was called a yellow peril stereotype. That's like the trope of this villain, this East Asian villain who's trying to take over the world. That was like Fu Manchu, basically.
Sheesh.
Is the kind of most direct. Well, and what I read today about Flash Gordon is that was the first movie. Ming was very much Fu Manchu. The second one, he's a little more like the devil, and then this one, he's more like a dictator, because this actually was produced in 1940. So we're right on the cusp of World War II. So you're going to start to see some of the, I mean, I guess the war had already started, but the United States had not yet entered the war. So you're going to see reflections of that all over the place in this, like we kind of did with Phantom Creeps. So there's a lot. We got 12 weeks to unpack all this, so I won't even begin to get into it, all of it now, but suffice to say, I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too. So thank you guys for joining us again. A little different, not horror, but this should be a lot of fun. It's Universal. They put a lot of money into this, so it's, we're getting some action.
What is
good.
horror is looking at these old political I googled yellow peril, and
you'll get a lot of racist political cartoons. Yeah.
Very.
No.
Yeah, please don't post any links in the chat. I beg of you.
I won't.
Please don't. Thank you. That would be much appreciated. We don't
that's on the
those
viewer.
Tropes or
If you want to go
stereotypes
down that rabbit hole, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, no, we'll I'll make sure to make somebody an admin to get on that as soon as the first one comes in. We're very proactive here, as you can tell. No.
Since current events drove the movie villains so much, I'm looking forward to the return of the Russian movie villain from the 80s.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
They were so good.
yeah. I'm really like the next 10 years probably is just going to be ripe for Russian film villains.
I think so. I mean, that's your go-to, right? I mean, who else do you really have? I mean, is there anybody right now? I mean, I feel like there are people already using Russians. I feel like they gotta be. I mean, that's,
I mean, there for a while it felt a little old hat, but here we are.
We're right back.
It works now.
History repeats itself. It's always in a cycles. That's the universe, people. Speaking of the universe, Flash Gordon's about to conquer the universe, guys. Believe it or not. We're gonna the whole thing. Yeah. So I mean, that's I will say again, we've got a hero to follow, not fedora people running around, and it's hard to tell who are we supposed to root for. At least we've got a hero.
12 fedoras walking around.
Yes, I can't do the fedora gang anymore.
It's like the premiere of Joker.
Yeah. And honestly,
so many guys with fedoras.
When I looked at other serials, that was my worry, is that it looked like the same thing. People in fedoras running around looking for things. And I'm just like, I can wait a couple seasons before I break one of these, before I put us through this again. We'll we'll get ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll watch a really.
At least here we know who's who.
That's what I'm saying. And one of the other reasons in picking this is like, okay, well, we'll watch a real quality serial, which this is supposed to be, and that'll hopefully kind of, hit the spot as far as season 4 minisodes go. We're taking a gamble with the Sci-Fi, but it should be fun.
So we're watching something good this time?
Apparently, again, it's Universal who made the last serial that we watched, and this is only the year after. So we'll see how much better or worse it is. But I think it's, I don't know. It's Flash Gordon.
All right.
So
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Well, I think if you boys, anything before we get into it?
I got nothing.
Conquers Universal. Flash Gordon conquers Universal.
Yes, he pretty much does. I mean, and that's the thing, man. I mean, this was their third one. This was very successful for Universal. And making sure everything's good here. All right. Well, if you boys have it queued up, then we are going to get into the first chapter of Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe right now.
Flash Gordon conquers Bad Fur Day.
Oh, I love that.
Buster.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Buster Crabbe.
You might have just left it. Well, so he's actually an interesting guy. He was an Olympic swimmer before he was a movie star.
I fucking hate swimmers.
Well, and yes, I thought you might say that fresh. And you know what?
They think they're so cool moving through the water. Like,
Moving
hey,
through the
bud,
You
you
guys
got
are just
legs. Stay
jealous.
on the land.
Yeah, just get on the land. We've evolved.
He would later go on to just be credited as Buster Crabbe. He dropped the Larry and just went, and the parentheses, and just went with Buster.
Well, I hope if he dropped Larry, he didn't keep the parentheses.
No. I mean, hey.
My
Why not?
first name is just in parentheses.
You guys recognize that name, Michael Mark? He was the mad scientist in The Wasp Woman.
And he has the funky bunch.
That's right. Yes. Michael Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Purple Death, Yellow Peril. We're two colors into a rainbow.
Yep.
With dictators, war, and rumors of war, a ravaging
Oh my
plague.
god, that's the worst sounding siren. It sounds like a baby dying. Oh, damn it, Garrett.
You said there's no fedoras in this.
There's so many fedoras.
That's a lot of fedoras.
He's dead.
Purple death. The purple death that leaves
The
only a
purple
purple
death.
spot on the forehead of its victim.
Buxby! Mysterious purple death claims new victory! Hundreds die! Buxby!
Wow, this is
The world's greatest scientists have assembled
no
to
relevant.
combat this mysterious malady.
The crowd outside is
Greatest scientists are just in like a
Nothing new that
random
I can tell them. Yes, sir.
living room.
yeah, that's what Fauci and them did. They
They
sat
met
around
up in the
smoking their
apartment.
cigarettes in their high-dollar suits.
Here, take hold. Professor Gordon. Yes, Professor Gordon. You got through to us. Here is news I can tell them. Good. I'll notify the national network.
Here is news I could tell them.
You know what's great to do during like a plague? Gather in like throngs of hundreds in the street.
Yeah, make a big speech for thousands of people.
Just cram everybody into the street.
Yeah, that'll make it go away.
Well, those are some top-notch Foley. That's some top-notch Foley work right there. Did you guys hear that? That crowd.
Causing the purple death.
It's like 12,
like,
The report that all
like
is well.
5 people clapping.
smattering of applause.
Immediately.
Holy shit.
Flash,
What is it, Zarkov?
I've sighted a spaceship. It's one of
Ming
Ming's
ships
from
from
Mongol.
Mongol.
Yes, yes. Mongo is the name of their planet, which again is more,
It's a Ming ship, all right.
you know,
It seems to be discharging a sort of dust
all
that
with the
becomes invisible as it
stereotypes.
falls.
We
Pretty,
must destroy that ship.
I'll drop down on
pretty
it.
uncreative.
Zarkov, radio the Earth.
See, I love that model. Looks like what they used for the Universal logo in like the 60s and the 70s. That was like
Zarkov's theory
good little
that this
model work.
death dust comes from another planet is utterly fantastic.
Don't forget, Dr. Froman, Zarkov's knowledge of other planets is based on actual experience.
Yes, but another message from them.
So what planet is Flash Gordon from?
Listen to this.
From
Just
Earth.
sighted a strange spaceship from another
Okay.
planet. With
So-
He's our
leads us
hero.
to
He's
connection with
Earth's
Grateful Dead.
hero.
Investigating.
Flash Gordon.
Okay.
He works with this scientist and his girlfriend, I guess,
Who think of such
Where
a
did he get the
deadly
rocket?
scheme.
from the scientist that he's like works with.
Read it out slowly. Every particle of Ming's death dust must have a disastrous effect.
That's the thing. It's all this
Hold your course
spaceship. It's a
directly over the
space
planet Earth.
opera before that was like a thing. Like this was an inspiration for Star Wars, like these Flash Gordon serials.
It's a low orbit space opera.
Rocket ship.
Yes, exactly.
Discovered the source of the purple death. We must destroy it.
Like there's
Fill
clouds.
out the death dust.
Yeah, kind of a stratosphere opera.
Zarkov's Earth ship.
Yeah, what's
approaching
3
rapidly.
rungs lower than hyperspeed? What's
Careful, Flash.
that's how fast they're going right now.
We're in firing position, sir.
This will burn them to a cinder.
And I love that the sound effects for the spaceships are like the same sound effects for the equipment in the Frankenstein movies. Like all the equipment that brings the monster to
They missed us
life.
with the heat ray. But I think you scored a hit.
Brace yourselves for another charge.
Gotta be fun being an actor on set and just having an explosive blown up like right in front of your face.
Get above them! We've crippled them. They're going down.
They're going down.
King will be pleased when he hears about this. Zarkov, let me have the controls.
Like, and that's all Flash Gordon needs to do.
We're
Just
crashing.
get in the
That's what I
get
want
on
the
the,
enemy
his
to
hands
think.
on the controls.
Their ray rifle crippled our rocket gun.
We must have damaged the ship.
I love that he
and
can't
back to
see.
Mongol.
Good.
That's so funny.
Zarkov's rocket.
He's like, where are we going?
I think what's funnier to me is the way that they designed this whole set so that like his his back is to
Yes,
us
I know.
the entire
Our
time.
only chances to get them
Their backs are to us and they're delivering
that's
all this
true.
dialogue.
Zarkov, radio the Earth. Report what's happened. Tell them what we're going to do.
Yes, it's our only chance to save them.
So much. The sound effects to me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Evan.
Warrior.
I really love these spaceship models.
What?
It's like a soda can with a firecracker on the tape to the back.
Pretty much.
What?
Huh? What?
I'm very confused.
Spies might be at the palace.
So they got shot down, and now they're in Middle Earth.
It looks like it, yeah.
Even at the risk of killing his own daughter. Now Baron's wife.
Flash! There's Baron.
What? Oh, somebody they know?
Flash! Baron, I'm glad to see you. Baron!
How convenient.
Oh yeah, they just happen to land right where their buddies were.
Been a long
That is
time.
convenient.
I rushed from the palace as soon as your rocket ship was described.
For receiving us with drawn bows.
We must always be on guard against some trick of Ming's. Ming? And he is alive.
Yes, and rules more ruthlessly than ever.
And
They love alliteration.
Yes,
I
I'm
feel
very
like I've
happy.
already
Come on,
clocked
see
it a
for
couple
yourself. What's your chance
times.
in the hunt?
Rules ruthlessly.
Feels great to get in these clothes again, Ronald.
The elves of Lothlorien. I don't
kept it. Hoping
I don't know what
someday I'd
that's
have a
from,
chance to
Styler.
hand it back to you.
Oh, we got Sylarn in the chat?
Great blade.
Oh, you
Banquet's on. Come on, let's
copycat.
go.
Wait a minute, Ronald.
Yeah.
Shut
I-
up, Sideline.
Why did Baron go to all the trouble of having a banquet when he knows the necessity of our getting to Ming immediately?
The banquet was already arranged in honor of Queen Freya of Phrygia.
Queen
I guess
Freya of Phrygia.
Copying my mustache.
Oh no!
You did.
No,
You did.
No! I didn't copy your mustache, Sylar. No.
Yes, you did. That's actually a great point.
Yeah, that is true.
You're both gonna go walk the beat.
Where is he?
Shall we go?
It's just that.
But which one is the
time of
rookie
year.
and which one is the disgruntled veteran cop?
And which one's allowed within 500 feet of a playground?
Your Majesty, Queen Freya. May I present
not
the Earthman,
Cylon.
Flash Gordon.
Your Majesty.
Uh-oh.
Parade Counselor, Count Koro. Well, shall we dine?
Shall we? All right, let's take a break right here.
right.
11:16 is what I've got. Yeah, it almost seems like you had to have seen the first two serials to really have any like clue, like who are these
I
people?
feel like we've covered
they're-
a lot of ground here.
They really have. They're like in a fight. They're in a spaceship battle with Ming's guys. They crash land on a planet that just is it a planet? Like I don't even know where they're at.
They crashed in Sherwood Forest. They're in England.
That's what it seems like, basically. You got Robin Hood and his fucking merry band of whatever they're called. I don't even remember. This is the first
I have no idea what's going on.
Robin Hood type thing I've seen in a minute. Yeah, it's a little scattered. They definitely covered a lot in 11 minutes. Purple.
There's also a plague in this somewhere.
Yeah, there's a plague. It's called the Purple Death. You die with the purple dot on your head, and it's all from Ming the Merciless. There's that alliteration for you. And from Mongo, but it is supposed to be like Mongol. Yes, that is the
His band of married men.
Yes. Married men. Yes, I think that's right. Yes, band of married men, married with children. Maybe sexism, Sylar? I don't know. But so regardless,
So the place they're from is called a Mongo.
Yes, Mongo. Yes, the planet Mongo. Again,
Stupid.
Again, so this is all like, Ming is from a different planet. I think right now we're on a different planet. But this is kind of the early days of sci-fi. No, they were not in blackface, thank God. I'm going to try to avoid. Listen, when I was looking for serials, and especially when I was looking for Bela Lugosi serials, there was definitely one that I looked at that as soon as I saw the title, I said, this is gonna be way too racist for us to even show. I think it was Shadow over Chinatown or something like that. And I
was looking at that one.
Watched like two,
that's a Lugosi one, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw like 2 minutes of it. And honestly, to be honest with you, what I saw was white people who didn't have on terribly offensive makeup. They were just dressed in Asian clothing. So that just even seemed insensitive in just a different way. It's still not good. But I don't know if casual is the word that I would use, Sylarm, but yeah, it was
maybe they didn't have the budget to do blackface.
I won't even speculate on that front. Universal, like, and again, you talk about budget. Universal spending more money on this serial than like what they spent on the Phantom Creeps.
I mean, the production value, like even with the shitty spaceship model and everything, the production value on this is like leaps and bounds higher.
Yeah,
it feels like.
I mean, I will say, I think that I could tell in that like scene in the spaceship when they're, no, I'm not George Custer, so I learned. I think you could tell the limitations of the budget in that spaceship scene where it was all one take, a lot of it, and Flash Gordon is delivering so many lines with his back to us that it's like, all right, where's the close-up? Where's the reverse shot? Where's like anything? It's like, oh, it's a serial. They don't have time to do any of that. They're not fucking worried about that. So, you know.
I really enjoyed how in that scene the lady, whatever her name is, was the only person who was even like pretending that the ship was crashing.
Yeah, you know, just kind of, you know,
the other two are just completely unfazed.
Stoic. Yeah. I mean, for a second, I couldn't tell if it was a double in there for Flash Gordon. It's like, what's he doing with it?
This is my back double.
Just his back. Yeah, it was a little strange. But hey, what are you gonna do? The more the merrier. Yeah, Sylar, I mean, it really is. It's one camera. You don't
waiting for Fry and Bender to show up since we already have Zap Brannigan.
Yes, yeah, that's all we need. I think Zap Brannigan is definitely that's that Flash Gordon is a perfect. There's definitely a parallel there, without a doubt. The comparison is 100% compatible. I mean, Flash Gordon came out of, I think, comic strips, and that's the thing. What I, you know, this season we'll be talking all about serials. One of the things I learned about them today was the fact that a lot of them were based on comic strips and comic books and things like that. And there were only 3 studios that made serials, and Universal, you know, they started really. Flash Gordon was their first comic one, and they had so much success that then they started doing like the Green Hornet. They started making, and then, you know, you had other studios that were doing Captain America and doing Superman and doing all these really, I think Captain Marvel, there's even a 40 serial of. It became like a big thing to try to adapt like popular IP. It's always been a thing. It has not changed. You know, it's back in those days, it was all about content.
Whatever it takes to move those lunch boxes.
Right. Well, and I would be interested in, I'll do a little bit of digging to see what the level of merchandising was on something like Flash Gordon, because Universal definitely merchandised the shit out of the monsters more in the 50s and 60s, but I'm sure with Flash Gordon they kind of did a similar thing. I mean, again, most of these serials would get edited down into movies that would be shown on television and in theaters. And what, Sylarn? I'm not even
This is the merchandise.
Gordon nipple
yes,
pasties.
that was the merchandise that Universal was investing in. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but they had done 2 serials before this. They did their first one in 1936. They did their second one in 38, I think. And then this one.
What was he conquering in those?
Well, the first one I'm not sure about, but the second one is Mars, and I don't know if he's conquering it, but it's called Flash Gordon Goes to Mars, and that's actually the trailer that we're gonna be seeing for this break. And it's, so you'll get a pretty good idea of all the stuff that went down in that one.
Flash Mormon.
I like that.
So when the Mormons knock on your door, it's already right there. It's branded, and they know.
Right.
You know, use this.
Right.
Flash Mormon. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get the factory fired up. We'll get our guys right to work on manufacturing that. But in the meantime, we're gonna go to this break. We're gonna watch this trailer for Flash Gordon Goes to Mars, and then we come back. We're gonna get into the exciting conclusion of Is tonight's episode, is it called The Purple Death?
Yeah, it is.
Purple Death. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of The Purple Death. Purple Haze!
They're landing. Happy, you and Dale get back in there out of range. We'll try to hold them off. Hurry before they get through.
The clay in that wall, it seemed to come to life. It turned into a man and then it ran back into the shadows.
Oh, don't be silly. It's one of the death squadron right on our tail. Man the gun, Flash. I'll try and get him into position for you. You got him, Flash. Direct hit. But the Clay King has told Flash Gordon the secret of your power.
The secret of my power? He wouldn't dare. Where are you taking me?
To the Clay people. Look, Doc, we're heading straight into the beam.
And we are back. So that was a trailer for Flash Gordon Goes to Mars. And, you know, pretty much the same thing that we saw in the other trailer, and probably the same thing that we're going to get for the next 12 weeks. Flash Gordon doing a bunch of crazy stuff, fighting Ming the Merciless. So get ready, strap in, because we're going, again, whatever three gears below hyperspeed is, that's as much as these spaceships are capable to handle. It's not really, yes.
So strap in and strap on as Flash Gordon fucks the universe.
Yeah, that's what they promised here. So get ready for that. Just a little recap before we went to the break. As far as I could tell, they had crash landed on this planet. Their friends were there. All of a sudden, they're at a fancy dinner party, and he was, kissing some girl's hand, and his girlfriend, she didn't like that. So it's probably gonna set up a little bit of conflict.
Trouble in paradise.
Trouble in paradise. Cosmic dong. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes, and what Flash Gordon. Ming the Merciless is right around the corner, up to some dastardly plan. So yeah, maybe Cylon. All right. Well, boys, anything before we get into the second part of The Purple Death?
Yeah, fuck Pizza Flicks.
Okay, no beef here. This is Fresh Rogan's own independent opinion. Is not reflect the feelings or thoughts of this show.
If Flash Gordon's cosmic dong really is a constellation, like Cylon is saying,
Positing in the chat.
maybe he needs to stay away from all women, at least until he goes to the doctor.
Yeah. That might be something you'd want to get checked out.
Wait until that clears up, Gordy.
It seems like you might want to cool your jets a little bit. Stop spreading diseases, Gordy. All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of the Purple Death right now. Yep, there he is.
Is there a less threatening plague name than the Purple Death?
The Pink Death?
The Comfy Death.
The Comfy Death? Yeah, that sounds great.
The Velvet Death?
Oh, that sounds delightful. That's how I want to go.
God, so opulent. His palace.
This is crazy set. Did they build this just for this?
No, this is all cobbled from other things. Most of it.
Good. Very good. Then the Earth will still be ignorant as to the source of the Purple Death. That is all. And now, Janda, what brings you up from my laboratories?
To ask your permission, sire, to perform a laboratory test upon these selected prisoners.
Your Majesty, I demand to know why I and the thousands of others with me are held prisoners in your filthy concentration camps.
You plotted with your queen, Freya, to refuse my demands. You meet the same fate as all those who oppose me. And now, Janda, what manner of test had you in mind that requires the living subjects for experimentation?
In your laboratory, sire, I have perfected the death dust.
Perfected? It is already capable of killing every living creature, of depopulating the universe.
That's just it, sire. At present, it kills everything, everybody.
Yes? Go on.
Wouldn't it be better, sire, if the Purple Death spared those millions of slaves to labor for you and killed only those with intelligence enough to oppose you?
Name your own reward if you can prove this to me.
Tonight, sire. Tonight, in the power room, I'll show you.
I'll be there.
They did, yeah. They ripped it from Ming.
My General Lupi.
Yep.
And I
Hitler saw Flash Gordon, and he was like, "Oh, that Ming the Merciless. He's really setting the tone."
Your men could rescue General Lupi. But if we should fail, and Ming discovers our plot,
it is kind of crazy how on the nose that was.
So you said this inspired Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Baron and I will take that chance.
But you won't have to.
Well, this in the other Flash Gordon serials.
Right, yeah. No, I'm just looking at this girl's hair.
Oh, good eyes, bro.
An important reply from Captain
Where do we get some Ewoks up in here?
Sudan is commander of Ming's palace guards. However, he is still loyal to me, and I have means of contacting him unknown to Ming. I'll do all in my power to help your cause.
This guy looks like Vincent Price.
Price was working for them at the time. I'm surprised he didn't. They probably didn't want to stoop that low. Yeah, I don't know, Cylon. I couldn't tell you why what the fashion sense is on this planet. But all the music is like from Bride of Frankenstein, basically.
Thank you, Baron.
It's driving me crazy.
I welcome this chance to help you. I remember that had it not been for what you accomplished on your first trip here, there would be no free men on Mongo.
I had plenty of help, Roka, and I needed it. Well, I'll delay you no longer. Goodbye and a safe return.
Maybe they're on Ming's planet. I guess they are. Not for long, they're blasting off.
This looks so dangerous.
When we get over Ming's kingdom, we should land near the entrance of the abandoned drain tunnel. Our ship can be well concealed there.
I remember the place.
When the tunnel gates are opened, you will be able to get through to the power rooms.
Why does
Yeah,
it
because
sound
the
like
ship looks like
Reagan?
a drain pipe.
In the rays of that special test light inside the cabinet, sire, you will be able to see the death dust as it enters the chamber.
Oh God, he even used the word chamber.
Oh no.
Bring in the prisoners.
Oh. So bad.
This looks like an MMO where a bunch of people just like made their own characters and they all look ridiculous.
This man of low intellect has the type of mind that is easily controlled by a superior will. And this man has a type of thinking brain that exercises a will of its own. A type we must destroy.
Sire, there is no dictator in the universe powerful enough to destroy human thought.
Place them in the dust chamber.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna destroy his thoughts.
Carrying out Captain Sudan's instructions, Count Coro and I will leave you here. Permit
This guy
ourselves to be
delivering
arrested by Ming's guards.
exposition.
Good luck.
Can't tell if he's dubbed or not, but
Ready, Your Majesty.
oh my God.
Aha, now he's dead. You can't think if you're dead.
You see, Your Majesty, the man of simple intellect is sane.
Significant demonstration, don't you think, General Lupi? We will see
General
now how
Lupi.
well it works on a Phrygian nobleman.
He's a crazy guy.
Place him in the chamber.
General Lupi.
He's a little loopy.
Probably some trouble in the prison ward, sire.
No. That alarm meant that someone had been captured.
Trespassers were captured forcing entrance into the palace, sir. They wear the uniforms of Phrygian soldiers.
Phrygian soldiers, huh? Send them directly to me for questioning.
Delay the demonstration.
It's certainly not a trap.
Like the spiral contraption in the background, it looks familiar.
I'll question the prisoners in private.
Yes. You know that came from one of those.
So far, so good, Captain Sudan. Prince
Most
Baron
of the
got your
lab
message.
equipment's gonna
I
come
will do anything for
from
Prince Baron.
Frankenstein.
This is Count Coro of Phrygia.
A couple more minutes and I'm going to search for them.
The others are at the mouth of the
They're all
abandoned
dressed as
tunnel.
Santa Claus.
I understand, Captain, that the gates barricading the tunnel are operated from this control room.
Brown got the Captain Sudan all right. Go ahead.
Now, Captain, how can you aid us in liberating the Phrygian prisoner, General Lupi?
Uh-oh.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Two Phrygians. What are they doing here?
I have been questioning them, sire. They came at the command of Queen Freya to attempt the rescue of General Lupi.
Intelligent looking
Yeah, this is definitely
Let us
some
put the
Star Wars
intelligence
type
of all three to the
intrigue.
test. My death dust will decide whether or not they are to live. Take these two prisoners to the pit room at once.
My death dust.
Aren't you a little short for a manga?
Kankara, run!
At least you're still alive.
But not for long, my friend. Janda, I have brought you some new prisoners to experiment with.
God.
Not for long.
This is Ming's private laboratory.
It is. I was right, Flash. The death dust is a development of the thing Ming was working on when I was here before. We must stay here and destroy
Last
this
time I
equipment.
was here, remember?
We'll go on to the power rooms.
Continuity.
This is the end. I'm sorry I was the cause of your capture and death.
Ming and all his labs all over
Place
the
them in the
place.
dust chamber.
They still just left that one guy in there. The simpleton. Why? Why?
Around the death dust.
Because fuck that guy, dude.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Miss Gordon. You didn't think you'd get away with this, did you, Ming? Roker, disarm them. Throw their guns in that pit. Turan, go ahead.
Why are they holding them like that?
You got here just in time, Flash. Count Coral, you and General Rupi get back to the rocket ship right away.
This is how we shoot in the future.
In the future, they're gonna do it like this.
What the fuck?
Where's the main power switch?
Yeah, way to really disable that lab. Oh yeah, here we go. Classic serial scram.
Yeah.
Everybody just starts rolling and scrapping.
Everybody grabs somebody.
What's Fat Brendan Fraser over here?
You destroyed my laboratory. Yes.
Your
destruction of our people has gone far enough.
I wonder how this is gonna shake out. Ah!
Oh
that was
God.
ridiculous.
That pit was way deeper than I was expecting.
kind of wild. Uh-oh, Flash.
It's the hole from inside the Death Star.
Yeah.
We have to use this cross-section shot one more time.
Yeah.
Someone throws someone in.
Nice.
Oh no.
Freezing torture.
Ah, very good. Wow. Well, that was the Purple Death.
How exciting.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, anytime you get, 10 people scrambling around, of course, the bad guy slinks out the back door, and then your hero falls down a cavernous pit. What's gonna happen next? How do we go from a cavernous pit and this, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just feel like wherever we just were seems really hot, and now we're about to be freezing. So what the hell? How we go from this pit?
It's gonna be the ice planet.
Oh yeah, they fall through the hole into the ice planet.
Into the ice world.
They fall through this steaming hole down into the ice world? That's what you're telling me?
No. Evan's saying they fall through the planet onto the planet that's below this one.
Right, yeah.
Oh, so they don't go to the other side. They go to a completely different planet.
They fall through.
They fall through the other side and just keep falling until they hit the ice planet.
I see.
Like how they fell through the earth and ended up in England.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, where else would that have been? All those clothes. My goodness. Yeah, you definitely tell this had a budget behind it. They just, I think that's why it looks so weird, is because Universal is just like, all right, what do we got back there in the wardrobe stable? What's not being used right now? Okay, Robin Hood type costumes, great, pull them out.
Perfect, we'll make it work.
Napoleonic dinner party, wear French Revolution, bring it out. Come on,
why not?
We'll make it work. Contemporary American clothes, sure.
We got a half dozen Santa costumes. Yeah, bring them out.
Yeah, it's fine. No one will notice.
Just whatever's not being used right now, we'll make it look good. And they really did. You gotta give them props. They actually have, I mean, they're kind of shooting it and staging it in a way that's, you don't necessarily have to be following it too much, but when shit starts going down, you're like, ugh, I mean, much like Phantom Creeps, but at least this wasn't just people driving around in a car for,
No, they're driving around in a firecracker spaceship.
Firecracker. That might be the best description of it. Yeah, firecracker spaceship, I think. I think that's on the money for sure. It's... they make it work.
I saw someone's hand with the lighter in it, leaving the shot in one of them.
As they're pushing it along, the wire that's it's attached to. It's just kind of like a zip line type situation. All right, let it go.
You're good. You're good. They're never going to know this is a model.
Oh, the quality is never going to be good enough that they'll be able to see the wires and all the little intricate details. We are living. They never imagine the kind of sci-fi world that we're living in now, where you make something 4K and it's something can be enhanced so much that. I mean, again, when the studios do 4K restorations on the actual elements, which this is not, certainly, but when those are done, the level of detail that you get on those movies, like the stuff that you see that you'd never seen before, like, it's wild. And that's always been a thing in the film industry, is like set designers having to keep up with cameras getting better. So that, you know, you can't just like kind of throw some, you know, you can't throw some book in the background that is like, you know, clearly in the wrong location, right? Like you can't just go grab whatever. Like you have to put a little more thought into the detail, because the audience could look and they could actually see what is written, you know, because that's how good it is.
I can't read, so they're safe from me.
Right, like in the HD remake of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where there's scene clutter of a rap album in that game that mistakenly doesn't actually get released until later in the story of the same game because it's a recycled asset.
Damn, spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a flub there.
And I guess people didn't notice before because of the quality of the.
Yeah, you just can't see it.
Wow. Yep. That's essentially that's what happens. You know, but that's what they assume. People can't read good. They won't notice. No, people.
I can't read so good.
People notice. Even those people that can't read so good, they'll somebody will tell them, and then they'll make fun of you.
They'll sound it out.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean, That's a Z.
Ladies and gentlemen of the
God, all right. Now you're going into a my cousin Vinny bit. Is that what you're doing here? Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the movie.
Okay, yes. That is actually ridiculous. That is. You don't.
And as he's stuttering, he's accidentally spitting on the jury because he's trying so hard to say jury.
You don't see it coming, like how ridiculous it is when it gets to that scene. But they
hey, don't worry, we gave you this public defender.
He'll be great. He'll be great. Yeah, that is a tour de force. That movie, all the performances of that movie are tour de forces. If you haven't seen My Cousin Vinny, it's an American classic. Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that movie. She beat a lot of important actresses for that movie, for the Oscars. So, pretty big deal.
These two Utes.
It's dumb, but it's funny and it's smart and it's simple, but it's, I don't know, man. Good movie. This isn't, this is totally off topic from Flash Gordon, but
Yeah, it is not My Cousin Vinny is not public domain, if you guys were wondering.
No, unfortunately not. I think We'll make sure that somebody is continuing on the mantle of the show long enough so that when My Cousin Vinny enters the public domain, the Scream Stream is here to cover it. Even if we're not around, we'll make sure somebody's here to
hire on the next group of young men to take over the Scream Stream so they can do My Cousin Vinny.
Yep, that's what it's all about. My Cousin Vinny. That's what this whole show has been about. No, actually not. I mean, when the movies that I really want to be in the public domain get in the public domain, we'll still be in our prime. So don't you worry. We've got plenty of great stuff coming up. Plenty of great stuff coming up this Friday as we start our official season 4. Start our Friday night movies. Wait. Yes. Identical. Yeah, but we are about to start season 4. Pretty wild. That'll be our 31st episode. If you count the last episode as 2 separate episodes. So it might be a little bit of a caveat there. Do you count the double feature as 1 episode or 2?
I would say it's 1.
2 movies, 1 episode.
It's a 2 for 1, not a 2 for 2.
It's a 2 for.
It's a little 2 for there.
Kind of a thinker, if you think about it.
A little bit of a brain, one of them brain puzzlers.
The thinker.
Yeah, no, it's we are in the thick of it. We're in season 4, and we're gonna start with one of the masters of horror, of course. Since we're doing sci-fi on Wednesdays, I gotta make sure our Fridays are full of horror. So we're starting out with a Vincent Price classic, The Last Man on Earth, which is an adaptation of the Richard Matheson story I Am Legend, which a lot of people will know. The adaptation starring Will Smith. This is way before that. This is the first adaptation of the same story. So it's about a guy, he's the last man on Earth, and then it's taken over by vampires. He is the legend. Yeah. So this is a pretty wild movie, actually. Pretty good production values. Vincent Price is solid. It's a co-production with Italy, so it's got a little bit of a different feel to it. The scope is pretty big. Oh, and when I say that, it's another one of those movies like She Beast where it's really thin, and the screen is things are kind of small, but we're kind of used to that.
No. Super wide
screen.
Wide load coming through.
But I mean, I think it's from 1964.
Put your blinkers on for this movie.
Yep, look out. Make sure your hazards are on. Yeah, this is it's from 1964, so it's kind of one of the later movies we'll get to see on the show. And yeah, wide load. And it's I'm gonna pause. I'm just gonna follow fresh records.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
I was
just gonna
telling
pause.
Sweet
What are you
to
gonna do?
pause.
What are
No.
you guys gonna do if I just stop talking? No.
Why do you press play?
Yeah.
Wait,
play.
where's the play button?
Yeah. So Last Man on Earth, really fun. Vincent Price, he hams it up a little bit, but it wouldn't be a Vincent Price movie if he didn't ham it up.
That man's all ham all the time.
Really
I don't think
is.
he can't ham it up.
I think
He really Vincent priced it up.
He really, yes. So we're gonna see a movie where I think that was one of the complaints from the guy who wrote the original short story was, that he Vincent prices it up. That's usually the complaint with people who had to cast Vincent Price when they didn't want to cast Vincent Price.
Yeah, that almost feels like
price it up.
It feels like a weird casting decision to put that guy in that story, honestly.
Yeah, it's he handles it well, and it's interesting. I think we'll have fun with it. So you can join us on Friday at 9 p.m. on Twitch or on Facebook Live for that. We're going live on Facebook now because YouTube I won't say much. I love YouTube. We're still on YouTube. We still upload to YouTube.
Yeah, fuck YouTube and fuck Pizza Flix.
No, we're not saying that. And you can also now find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@ScreamStreamShow. So instead of typing in a crazy URL,
fuck Susan Wojcicki.
So I don't say no. We're not mad at anybody from YouTube, but I got a community guideline strike that's a little.
I'm mad at them.
It's a little ridiculous. So we're gonna just take a little time, not live streaming to YouTube, but we're still gonna upload everything to YouTube because I can deal with copyright strikes easy that way. But when you get a community guideline strike and they're just pulling you without, content ID even being a factor, don't even get me started. I'll have a whole separate copyright stream for that where I rant and we can all be mad together about YouTube's copyright situation. But until I start that show, I'm just gonna from time to time rant about it. But we're finding solutions, so you can catch us on Facebook
Sweet
Live.
Feet says he's mad too. Yeah, that's right, Sweet Feet. Yeah, fuck you too, bro.
We're mad as hell, and we're not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah, flag our shit again. See what happens. How about that?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's not a threat. No. We're not threatening anybody. No, Fresh.
Hey, it's not a threat. That's a promise.
Okay, yeah, that's different. Perfect. Yeah. And then, as always, if you're new to the show, Evan brings us a wonderful drink to pair with the evening's film and a little segment which we call...
What were you drinking?
What were you drinking?
So for this season, I thought that I too would maybe mix things up a little bit. I didn't shave myself a mustache, but instead I thought, as it turns out, Vincent Price is kind of a big wine guy. He really likes his wines. And so I thought, well, maybe it would be fun this week instead of a cocktail to enjoy some nice, some bloody red wine. Get it? Vampires.
Yes.
So we're going to be, just making sure. So this week we're going to be enjoying some nice Cabernet Sauvignon. Haven't picked a label yet specifically, but if you want to join along, grab your favorite Cab Sav, maybe something from California. Vincent Price loved a Californian wine. And we will enjoy that together.
Man, I gotta tell you, between now and then, I'll try to dig up, see if Vincent Price ever made a California wine commercial in the same way that Orson Welles made a California champagne commercial, and see if we've got any grade A material we can glean from that.
Well, see, I almost wanted to save this for Friday. I'll probably bring it up again. But
yeah. Okay. No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Well, my source for this is, so Vincent Price in like the late 70s did a spoken word vinyl called Wine is Elegance.
Did you listen to it? Oh wait, no, it's a vine. You did?
It is uploaded. It's on the internet.
Oh, that's great. We're gonna have to share that.
It's a fun listen. He really talks. He keeps bringing up the California wine thing, which almost feels like somebody's paying him to say that. But I can't find any information on like who commissioned this record.
So
I don't know.
Being paid for sure. Yeah, God, I would love to know. Did he sound like he was drinking during it? Does he sound like he was
he sounded sober.
I can see that. The man's a consummate professional. But I gotta say, right. I feel like the whole time it would just sound very sinister to me. Wine.
Why does he want me to drink this?
What did he put in the wine?
What did he do?
Yeah. Yes, Fresh. I'm drinking my penny beer as
your fucking penny beer, dude. I hope you like it.
As Fresh likes to point out, it tastes like pennies.
Just like blood.
Just like
there we
blood.
go.
You see, that's the drink that we need.
This is we'll just all be drinking some BL next, and you having a great time. But no, we'll be enjoying some Cab Sav. Is that what you said, Evan? Cab Sav?
Yeah,
Look at
that's what they say.
Is that
that's
what Vincent
they call
Price says on the record?
I don't remember. I think he may have. I think he may have said that at one point.
Oh,
It doesn't
God.
seem verbose enough for him.
I can't. Well, I
feel like he would have to say the whole thing just to talk as much as possible.
That's true. We're gonna have fun. Well, that's
It's
one
getting
thing.
paid by the syllable here.
I'm glad that you bring that to the table, Evan, because I definitely was planning on getting more into kind of Vincent Price, the man, on Friday specifically. That's kind of the other thing that he's known for outside of acting is his kind of connoisseurship of not only wine but also food and art in ways that are really kind of wild, like all throughout his life. And so I'm excited to kind of share that and see what we can dig up as we enjoy that with a good little vampire movie, because you're right, it is a vampire movie. Now it's also it's weird. It's there's some inspiration for some other genres in there, but we'll talk about that on Friday. But it's definitely a vampire movie. But it's going to be a lot of fun, so you can join us Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern for that. Join us back here next Wednesday for another chapter of Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe. Chapter 2, Freezing Something. I don't remember what it was. Not frozen chicken, but frozen something.
Freezing cock and ball torture.
Yeah, that's what it was. Right. Okay. Yeah. I haven't saw the fine print. Right.
Yeah, I think there's. I'm reading between the lines, as it were.
Right. Exactly. Yes. So obviously, by the sound of that, that'll be a lot of fun. So please join us Wednesday, 9 p.m. for that. Until Friday. Sweet screams, everybody.
Fuck pizza flicks.
And to all a good night. Right.